Blackadder, Blackadder. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Rowan Atkinson. How could I actually even confuse you with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Well, who would have guessed that one? But folks, I saw Black Adam today. I was somewhat curious. I wasn't put off by the bad results. I've heard about it. It tested lower than the now cancelled Batgirl starring Leslie Grace. You know what, David Zaslav? If this video comes across your lap, I don't know why I would say lap, but it's a very strange thing to say. Do consider bringing that film back out again, because I want to see against this film which one is truly awful. Now, is Black Adam a perfect movie? No. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Does it seem a bit weirdly edited in places? Yes, that too. Superhero fatigue, superhero burnout, whatever you want to call it, it is definitely a thing at the moment, and I mainly attribute that problem with Marvel, not so much DC. So I've got Rotten Tomatoes right in front of me, as opposed to being on my face, and isn't this score very interesting? 41% of the, the shill media, the real media, access media, who just love to get, their hands on the latest films and just wax lyrical about them. 203 reviews have given it a 41%, whereas 89% of the cinema audience, based on 1,000 verified ratings, look at that, 89%. I mean, who would you rather trust at this point? Well, you got me to begin with. These are the same people that they complain that a film doesn't have enough representation, there isn't enough woke checkboxes ticked off. The thing with Shazam, it is probably the most diverse superhero film, even out of DC's gates, that I have seen. Did I cringe? No. Did I roll my eyes? No. Because the setting of the story is pretty straightforward, that the diversity is an organic element that happens within the film. I mean, can we just talk about Sarah Shahi for a minute? Because I know most of my fellow content creators won't even mention her, but oh my god, I was a fan of Sarah Shahi since The L Word, and then she was in Life with Damian Lewis, and she was in Bullet to the Head with Sylvester Stallone, where she got naked for a brief few seconds. But my god, I mean, she's a Persian Iranian actress, if I'm not mistaken by that. Is Persian the same as Iranian? I don't mean to be ignorant there, but she's one or the other or both. And that's the one thing I'll say about the casting of this film. Like, all the actors who are meant to play their respective roles, I don't think you'll get a Mexican popping into play an Iranian, but if it happens, that would be absolutely hysterical. But there is in the first act of the film, Shahi, who plays, I think is Adriana, or Adrian, I can't remember. I think it's Adriana. She, I sat there thinking, oh my god, this is the perfect Lara Croft. You went with pencil-necked Alicia Vikander, but you had the perfect Lara Croft right here, because there are moments in this film where you think you're looking at Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I mean, Sarah Shahi has got the whole package. She's got the looks, she's got the toughness. I mean, she worked out for this film. You can clearly tell she worked out. I mean, there's no question of a doubt about it. And I do like the father-son, the mother-son relationship. There's like two parallel relationships going on in this film, and I really dug those. It's not father-daughter, mother-daughter, because, that horrible speech that Olivia Wilde made this week. The one, if you haven't remembered what it was, I'm just going to give you a recap very quickly. It's absolutely horrifying.
Mind the world, and specifically our daughters, that we aren't so easily manipulated.
So, what did the professional critics have to say about Black Adam? Sir Dana Han Klein, who looks like a blue-checked weirdo from that profile picture, a paint-by-numbers superhero film that refuses to actually embrace the moral ambiguity of the original character. Not wildly offensive, but unfortunately not particularly entertaining. Had this come out 10 years ago, perhaps it wouldn't feel so anemic, and I'll come back back to that point in a few moments. Andrea Thompson, sure, it's been done better, and it's been done better, but it's been a while since The Dark Knight. Okay, so why are we comparing this to The Dark Knight? It makes no sense, apart from the fact it's DC. Sarah Ward from The Concrete Playground, Black Adam kneels to the idea, not to Zod, that slipping Johnson into a sprawling superhero franchise means robbing the wrestler turned actor himself of any on-screen personality. I actually disagree with that one, Ms. Ward, because Mr. Johnson actually exudes a lot of personality. I don't know what film you were watching, but clearly you didn't have the same point of view as I did. Now, if you just go to the verified audience ratings here, because I'm kind of more interested to see what they said. The action alone is worth it. That's Tara. First of all, my IMAX showing was not even true IMAX, so the movie only took up half the screen. And to make things worse, the film that appeared on, the film that appeared on it was only half of what I expected. Now, the one thing I got to say, like another positive I can say about this movie, is that there's no waxing lyrical about preachiness, there's no wokeness, nothing like that. It's just a based superhero movie. I really enjoyed that. I like the little kid in the film, and he's got some really good moments with Black Adam, which I loved. His room is reminiscent of the room I used to have with superhero posters all over the walls, and then you got your collections of memorabilia on your desk. Oh, that was such a nice callback. I really enjoyed that. I think the costumes look fantastic in this film, like better than any Marvel film I've seen. I've been unfortunate to see in the last few years. Miles better. Now, the color palette is really interesting because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has said for the longest time that he's a big admirer of what Zack Snyder established with his Snyderverse, if you want to call it that. And honestly, if you didn't know Zack Snyder had left Warner Brothers to go and work at Netflix, you would think he still had a hand with the look of this film. His DNA is all over it, but it's not him at all involved. And Walter Hamada, he was a producer on this film. And of course, 3 days ago, that guy has left WB, man. He's long gone. So good riddance to him, because he was one of the guys who didn't want Henry Cavill to come back. And speaking of dreamy Henry, oh wow. Who gave the loudest cheer in the audience when that cameo happened? When that post-credit scene turned up, who do you think gave the loudest cheer? Yeah, it was actually the person next door to me. No, it was just such a good moment. It was like a brief 10-20 seconds of Henry, I'll say that much. And look, this is not me spoiling it, it's all out there. The cameo itself is on not on Cameo, the website, because that'd be a bit weird, but I won't drop that in here because it's actually best to see it on the big screen. And I tell you what, you see Henry's body from the waist going up, so you know the boy has been working out. It's not one of those lazy things where they're just kind of showing his head and shoulders and you don't see anything else. They've made a couple of changes to the costume, which I really liked, but it's such a fleeting moment I couldn't take it all in. Now, glaring observation, folks, I forgot to include in this video, but I'm doing it for you right now, are the traps of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The dude has got traps growing on traps on more traps. It's multiple traps. It's a very weird thing. I've never seen it. It's definitely not CGI. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like back in the day when Tom Hardy trained for Warrior and we were just going goo goo gaga about his man traps. Honestly, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson walks away with a trophy for the manliest man traps I have ever seen. It's insane. I mean, when you see the film, you know what I'm talking about. And by the way, when it comes to who's got the best superhero bod, no question of doubt about it, it is definitely Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I would say second best might be Chris Hemsworth as Thor, but oh, wowee, man. That is something that's going to haunt my dreams for the rest of my life. When it comes to the actual soundtrack for Black Adam, there aren't any standout set pieces, but when it comes to the lead character's anthem. Now that is a force to be reckoned with. It's composed by Lorne Balfe, who's from Scotland. I only knew that a few moments ago, which is quite baffling. I thought he was from Germany or some other place like that, but no, it's from a homegrown Scotland right here, which is pretty awesome. And honestly, so obsessed is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with this score that he has it on loop all the time when he's working out. I probably wouldn't go to those excesses, but I can see where that sentiment comes from. I mean, is it as good as Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel theme, What Do You Do When You're Not Saving the World? I'll say the level pegging. I mean, the Hans Zimmer tune is a bit more of a slow build, but Lorne Balfe's version just gets straight in it. It's dirty, it's grimy. You want to dig deep into the gravel pits of the gym floor and make holes in them. I'd advise you not to do that, because then I can't afford to foot that bill at my local gym.
You hear that?
That's some
Heavy
badass
horn
music.
section. He walks with an intense purpose.
That horn section's making me
You hear
horny.
that Darth Vader vibe.
You've got Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. Again, his casting is fine. Never had a problem with it. Aldous Hodge is a great actor anyway. He's kind of one of these guys that kind of keeps himself to himself, doesn't kind of join the wokey preachiness of it all. He's in Leverage, the TV series, which I have enjoyed. Yeah, Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher. Way more likable than Scott Lang as Ant-Man in the Marvel films. I liked his costume. I like the fact he was just getting used to being the Atom Smasher. Then you got Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone. She was fun. A couple of times when she doesn't have the curly hair going, I was kind of being reminded of Tessa Thompson, but in her case, she's a lot more likable, so I had to breathe a sigh of relief at that one. And she was good. I liked her. She was enjoying herself. You can see that the Justice Society of America, I'm assuming that's what that last part stands for. Of course, I've saved one of the best for last, Pierce Brosnan. Why isn't that man Sir Pierce Brosnan? I have no idea. As Dr. Fate, he is brilliant. You cannot fault the guy. He's a consummate actor. I've been a fan of Pierce Brosnan since The Long Good Friday from 1979 with Bob Hoskins. But there is something I want to address really quickly about the character of Hawkman. They do something really stupid with him at the end. And look, for a point of reference, folks, Hawkman has the power of resurrection. I'm just going to leave it at that, and you make up your own mind when you go and watch the film, because what they did with him and somebody else was pretty dumb, in my opinion. And I just thought, what were they thinking? But I will say this much. I've heard this chitter-chatter recently that it seems that while The Rock is meant to be the biggest film star in the world, I'll still say it's Tom Cruise actually, that they're running out of projects for him to fill and headline. Now, I think what he's going to do is do 2 more movies in the superhero genre. Obviously, there's going to be Shazam 3, then there's going to be Black Adam 2 with Henry Cavill, and then I'll say after that, he's probably going to be done with acting. And then I think he's going to run for presidency. That's what I think is going to happen. And, of all the films that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has made, I like his performance in this film. I thought he's terrific in this. I also like Snitch, and I love The Rundown. There isn't one person I can think of who doesn't name The Rundown as one of their favorite Dwayne Johnson movies. And to all the people out there who go, well, we like the woke stuff in our films, I thought Eternals was so much better than Justice League. And yet the same person who said that to me has never spoken about the Eternals ever again. Isn't that very strange? If you enjoyed my review today for Black Adam, do leave a like below. Do atom smash the hell out of that subscribe button. And if I were you, and if you were me, we better come up with a better catchphrase than the one I'm about to deliver. I'll catch you on the next video.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?